Do you always find yourself stuck in the same dynamics in relationships? Do you always find yourself the chaser, the organiser, the one cleaning up around the house, or the emotional support? Or do you always find yourself as the one paying for everything or leading, and you don't feel like you get as much back? Well, the reason might be in your identity and the role that you're choosing to play. In this video, we'll look at this phenomenon of continuing to have the same experiences with different people, what the root causes of this are, and how to change it. Welcome back to the YouTube channel for Catch. My name is Sam and I am the founder here at Catch. Unshakable confidence is the key to getting everything you want. So on this channel, we help you to build that unshakable confidence and become the most unstoppable version of you. If you want to work with us in any way, we offer one-to-one coaching. We have tools and digital workbooks to build your confidence at home, and email coaching. The links to all of that is available on our website, unstoppablewithcatch.com, and we've linked it all below. And there's also a free to enter competition with prizes of up to £250. So we were inspired to make this video because we had a question recently saying, I continue to attract emotionally unavailable partners, and I'm starting to question, am I the emotionally unavailable one? And how we responded to that was to say, look, you may be emotionally unavailable, but it doesn't mean that you yourself are not able to identify, process, and communicate your emotions in a healthy way. But it might be subconsciously who you are entertaining in your life and the type of partner that you find yourself drawn to. Because if we have grown up in a household or had early experiences with emotionally unavailable caregivers or friends or teachers, then we can start to expect that outcome in our life or see that as the model for just how love works. And we can subconsciously play out and seek and entertain dynamics which reflect the dynamic that we experienced when we were younger. You know, if you have one person in a couple who's the chaser and one who's the more avoidant one, we can end up becoming either of those two roles. And normally we identify with the gender that we identify with. So if we're a man and it was our father who was emotionally unavailable or a male role model, then we might start to role model that. Or if we are, say, more anxious, if we're a woman who's more anxiously attached, it may be because the women inspiration in our lives were anxiously attached, and we subconsciously role model those behaviors because we learn that what it means to be a man or what it means to be a woman in this relationship looks like X, whatever it was that we saw when we were younger. So without even realizing, we expect a certain dynamic in a romantic relationship and we take on a role. We expect to have to be the chaser. We expect to have to be the financial provider. We expect to be the emotionally unavoidant one. Or it becomes part of our identity. Men are like this. Women are like this. Non-binary people are like this. And we identify as a man or a woman, and so we show up in the ways that we believe a man or a woman or a non-binary person shows up. And all this happens at a subconscious level without us even realizing. And we've just done three videos actually on identity and how we can be influenced externally by tradition or by the internet or broader society telling us how we should be based on the colour of our skin, the country we're from, or what we look like, or our gender, or our sexuality, and how we can therefore adopt these beliefs and these thoughts and this identity and be influenced by that. So we go through in those videos how to identify the beliefs that you want to keep, the ones that you don't, the identity that you want to keep that you don't, and to intentionally develop the identity and the benefit that you want. So check those out if you are interested. What we are talking about in this video, though, is particularly interpersonal dynamics and the role that we play. So this as I said before, could be in a romantic relationship and how you see your role in a romantic relationship. It can also be with specific individuals. So perhaps you are the eldest child and you have younger siblings, and so you have taken on in your early life the role of the organizer, looking after your other siblings and being the responsible one. And there's a lot online about being the eldest daughter and the effect that that's had on people. So we can then create these dynamics with individuals where we see ourselves as, you know, the responsible one or the organizer, and someone else just gets to go with the flow and have, you know, an easy time. But what's interesting about this is you may not always be, as the eldest child, for example, you may not be the organizer and the responsible one in every single interpersonal dynamic. And your siblings in other relationships in their life or with other family members, they may be the responsible one. So we can end up taking on different roles with different people, dependent on the nature of that relationship, how it's formed over time, and how we identify and how we see our role, and particularly our value. And this can also happen with any kind of relationship. I've already given a sibling and a romantic relationship example, but it can also happen at work. Are you the person that always puts their hand up for the extra projects, or to take the minutes in meetings, or to organise the away days? Are you the person that is high profile, that's given promotions? Are you the person who tends to work in the background, overlooked for promotions? So really think about, how do you define yourself and your role, and critically how you add value and how you see your role in different areas of your life. But what is most important to recognise is that we are contributing and creating these dynamics. We are choosing them again and again, but we don't need to be stuck in them. We can choose something different. We can change the dynamic to something more preferable to us, and we can break free from those patterns that are in our lives. We can choose a new identity and a new set of beliefs, and from that, I'll be able to identify the behaviours that come along with someone in that new identity and new set of beliefs, shift our beliefs, shift our behaviours, and create a new dynamic. And I'll give a few examples now of common dynamics that we see in relationships. And when we say relationships, that's in the broadest terms. So it could be romantic, friendships, work relationships, family relationships, and how you can shift them. And if this resonates with you, or you want more help in how to shift dynamics or shift your identity and your beliefs to create a new outcome, we have a digital workbook on our website, unstoppablewithcatch.com, which is 25 very detailed pages of guidance and exercises to work through to help you do this and apply this to any area of life. So if you're interested in that, check that out on our website. So let's talk about the organizer. So I mentioned before eldest siblings, but this can also apply in relationships, where some romantic relationships, where some people see their role and their value as being the leader, or the person who organizes the dates, organizes the social activities in their friendship group. It could be the person at work who always wants to lead that new project, always has to be doing the bulk of the work and the admin, and they love to organise. Or they don't love it, but they feel they have to do it through obligation. And in that scenario, the individual is seeing themselves and the value they bring as that organiser role, being the leader, being the person doing the heavy lifting, having the responsibility. But what they might subconsciously do is have beliefs that their younger siblings or their friends are incapable, unable to do the organising, that they're disorganised, and they may become resentful over time that they're the one who is always organising. So they may enjoy it, but they may become resentful. And what we're talking about here is just changing those beliefs that aren't working for you. If there's an area of your life that is working for you, this doesn't apply. This is when you want to level up or change a dynamic. So in this instance, you've got someone who sees themselves as the organiser, as the leader. They always put their hand up. They're always doing the bulk of the work. And over time, they get fed up with that. But what they've realised is that they also have beliefs that their friends aren't capable and that they have to do it. So in that instance, we'd recommend that someone shifts their identity and their beliefs to Remind themselves of the other value they bring. Their value is not just in being the organizer. They don't have to do it. Empower them by reminding them that they're choosing it. And that if they want to change that behavior, they need to choose something else. So say they want to become more of the personality hire, someone who just gets to show up, brings the vibes. Well, what would that person do? They wouldn't offer to organize the event. They wouldn't be assertive in that way and drive things forward. They'd maybe be part of the group organization. They may give some feedback. They may offer to organize one activity on a trip, but they don't organize the whole thing. They contribute an opinion. They, in the organizing channels, maybe a WhatsApp group or a group text message, they're just putting laughs in there. Maybe they organize the fun activity. They turn up and they look after themselves so that they can bring their most fun, energetic, light self to the event itself. So if you want to go from that organizer role to someone who can just show up and have a good time, work on that identity, start to see yourself as the fun person who just turns up, work on those beliefs that you are valuable for the presence that you bring. Remind yourself that other people in the group are perfectly capable of organizing. You don't have to do it. And then think about the behaviors of a person who does just show up. They wouldn't offer to organize at the start. They may ask other people to do some organization and just give feedback. They may just step back and see if other people in the group start to take the initiative. They may be very appreciative when other people start to organize. And then, as I said, they will look after themselves and their nervous system and how they're feeling so that when they show up on the day, they can really, bring the vibes and bring the laugh and bring a different dynamic. So sometimes you just have to stop playing into that dynamic and choose a new one. And dynamics form over time. So what I would say with this one is people may not step up straight away and organize, but if they see that you're not doing it, either that friendship may fizzle out because you've decided you don't want to be the organizer anymore, or they'll get the hint and start to organize themselves, or you can have that direct conversation, whatever feels right. But things will start to shift over time because you're becoming a new version of yourself. Now let's take another archetype or role of the chaser, someone who always chases. This often comes from a place of not feeling worthy or good enough for the relationship or for the friendship or for the outcome that they want. So people feel like they need to put work in to be chosen or to get the outcome that they want. Whereas there's other people whereby it's effortless. They get offered jobs, they get approached for jobs. And the difference is that person feels that they're worthy and they're more confident. And they have a set of beliefs that it's easy for them to receive. People come to them. They are magnetic. People want to be around them. They're great at their job. They don't have to make effort, or that the effort they make is very aligned. They trust their intuition. So again, think about the version of you that would find this effortless and wouldn't put effort in, and start to embody that version. And again, you would need to stop those chasing behaviors and give people the space to come to you and be able to relax and nourish yourself and enjoy your day and just believe that it's going to happen. And that is a very different kind of energy than someone who is the initiator and the chaser. And the final archetype or role might be someone who sees themselves as the loser. Someone where life is difficult, they never get the jobs they want, they never get the relationships they want, life is hard, versus someone who sees themselves as a winner, that the actions that they take will achieve the outcome that they want, that they're charismatic, people love to be around them, that they will always win, that no one can beat them. That's a completely different set of mindset. So someone would have to, even if they've had rejection and difficult experiences in the past, they would have to disconnect from those and identify with the mindset and the energy of a winner. What beliefs would a winner have? They would believe that they get all the shots that they take, that if they struggle with something first time, they will learn and refine their approach until they get it. They will not be intimidated by rejection or challenges. They will see the positive in the world. They will see the opportunities and believe that those opportunities will happen for them. They will see themselves as the exception. So only 10% of entrepreneurs make it in the long term. They will think, I'm in that 10%. So again, identify the identity and the beliefs of someone who is a winner and shift from that archetype and that role that you're playing of the loser into the winner. And you will start to apply for more jobs, see more success, be more confident in interviews, won't take rejection so personally, etc. And this can also apply in dating and relationships. You can go from someone who isn't chosen to someone who is chosen and always gets the relationship that they want. And what's really interesting with these dynamics is that where we've used this with clients have implemented it, or I've implemented it in my own life, often when I've shifted how I've shown up, people have been really grateful for that. So I've been scared to shift dynamics where maybe I've been the organizer or the leader or shown up in a certain way. But what I didn't realize is that not only was I not enjoying that role that I was playing, but the other person felt like they didn't necessarily have the space to step up and take on that role either. So if you're struggling with this, think about the best way it could go. Think about how others could be experiencing the role that you're playing and the other side of the dynamics. If it's not working for you, it's probably not working for them either, or there are pros and cons. So start shifting how you're being, but also you may have these conversations head on or explain to people that you don't want to play this role anymore. And you will be pleasantly surprised by some of the reactions that you get. And again, if you are struggling with some of this, or it feels far-fetched to shift a dynamic maybe with a difficult family member or a difficult boss, start with a what-if question. What if I stopped leading? What if I stopped chasing? What if I stopped overworking? What if I had more boundaries for myself? What if I had more time to look after myself? And really start to imagine and picture how it would feel to have that positive outcome, because that will motivate you and keep you motivated on the way. And again, if you need any help with this, that workbook is available for you on the website at unstoppableWithCatch.com. Or if you have any questions, post those below. We love to hear from you. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. That really helps the channel. And see you next time. Thanks. Bye.